Levushe HaNefesh were really higher and much more supreme than the koiches of the Nefesh, even to the point of being incomparably so. Ein Kate, Ein Kate the Safe, that's a very, very powerful expression, due to the fact that the Levushe HaNefesh are from the Torah, and they are in effect the way in which the Odom keeps the Torah and brings it into action in his life. So therefore, the Torah has a mila of all other entities in the Raisa, the Kutshabriku, Kulakad, and we saw that that's based on the klal of the Rambam, that Hua Yodea, V'Huha Deya Atzmo, that the Eibusha and his Deya, and the Eibusha, meaning his Chochmah, and the same with all the other attributes, are all one mamish. Therefore, being that is the case, the three Levushe HaNefesh are united with the highest possible union to the point of being all one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Koidei Uva Atzmai, as we saw, meaning in his very essence, and based once again on the quote from the Rambam. And then we began with the Kasha. How can we really say such a thing? How is it possible that something which is the Tachlis HaYichud with the Kodesh Baruch Hu, like any one of the three Levushim, or Machshava, Dibur, and Maisa, of the Karyan Mitzvahs of the Torah, how could we say that that is one thing, absolutely, with the Eibusha, and it comes down and brings that union with the Kodesh Baruch Hu into the life of the Odom in a practical way, to the point that he thinks and speaks and acts in that way, when we know that a Kodesh Baruch Hu is absolutely unlimited in all possible ways, and he is Ligdulose, to his greatness. There is absolutely no knowledge or research whatsoever. That being the case, how can we say that the Levushim of the Odom, Machshava, Dibur, Maisa, Levushe HaNefesh, are one thing with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And even deeper than that, or even more practical for our purposes, how can they, being as they are finite entities, how can they express themselves in the life of the man in such a way that they bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that Yuchud with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, into the finite and physical and active world, which those are the functions of the three Machshava, Dibur, Maisa, by the Zman that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is B'tachlis HaYichud with them. So, Aleph, how can we say that? How can we B'tachlis HaYichud with them? And secondly, how can that function in the finite world? Such a unity of oneness with the infinite being of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. So that's what we saw is the question. And that's what we were beginning with on page 16. V'afta Kodesh Baruch Hu nikro ein seif. Even though the Eibusha is called ein seif. Now, we can suggest that what the Alter Rebbe means with that expression is that Hashem is called ein seif, but really he's a lot more than that. In other words, he's called Ein Sof, but Ein Sof is not his real description. It's not the real way to refer in describing Hashem. It's only Nikro, meaning it's only a term which is given, because really Hashem is not only Ein Loi Seif, but Hashem is Ein Loi Tchilo. He doesn't have any beginning. And it's brought down in certain places that that's a much greater praise or description of Hashem's greatness than to say he has no end. Because something that has no end could possibly have a beginning. But if you say he has no beginning, then that means he never came about, he was just always there. But I mean, he's only Nikro Ein Seif. In other words, for our finite purposes, that's already enough of a kasha, for the kasha that we have. V'ligdu losei ein cheker, and to the greatness of the Eibusha, there's absolutely no possible way of really inquiring and knowing about it. Ein cheker, cheker means like research or finding out. So there's no way you could ever grasp or even approach the unlimited greatness of Hashem. V'leis machshava tefisa bei klal, and there's absolutely no thought can grasp him whatsoever. And Siddur explain that means not only our thoughts down here, but it means even the thoughts of those beings that are in the highest Olamus. In other words, even in the Malachim, and it's brought out in certain places that even in Olam HaTzila, there are certain very, very high Malachim, different than what most other Malachim are, but very, very high Malachim. Even their Machshava, even the Machshava, as it were, of the Spiros, and those in Yom which are even higher than Atzilas, they have no ability whatsoever to grasp Hashem. Leis Machshava, there's absolutely no Machshava whatsoever. So that builds the kasha. How then can our Machshava be described as being united with Hashem? There's absolutely no way that any Machshava can grasp Hashem. To be united with Him implies that somehow or another you're grasping Him, you're tied to Him. So how can that possibly be? So you might say, well, that's only by Hashem. Well, but maybe in His Torah, maybe He's modified His Torah in such a way that it's already in the gather of the finite. And whenever it's possible for the Torah to unite with our Levushim and be part of us, because it's already become a little bit finite. Says the Alter Rebbe, "V'chein b'ratzaynoi v'chokmosei." We just said the Torah was chokmosei v'ratzaynoi. Now the Alter Rebbe is saying the other way around, but he's saying ratzaynoi v'chokmosei. They are the Torah. He said just like there's no machshava can possibly grasp him because of his absolute unimaginable greatness and inability to understand that greatness, the same is true of his Torah, of his chokmah and Rotzon. Being as it were one with him, then they are also no limit whatever to their greatness and to their extent, and no ability to really understand them. In other words, that the Torah is by no means the way it is in the church up there by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's by no means a finite thing. Well, the Torah is absolutely incomparable and incomprehensible, just the same as HaKadosh Baruch Hu is himself. Kidiksiyu, as it is written, Ein cheke litfunosei, that there is no research or no ability to grasp Hashem's understanding. Now, what do you mean Hashem has understanding? I mean, what do we mean by that? So here we mean, there's a pasuk in Yeshaya Novi, which means that there's no way of even things which are described as Hashem's tuuna, even the laws and the things which, as it were, are set or imagined as being set by Hashem, we have no ultimate way of really appreciating that. In other words, that it may appear sometimes, as a matter of fact, that particular pasuk is talking about that Yidden occasionally complain to Hashem that they seem that Hashem has forgotten them. They don't seem to understand what's happening, why are all these things going on. We seem to have tried our best and we seem to have been the best we could. Why are we getting such a strange deal, a strange end of the stick, to use the expression, etc., etc. So the Novi says that Ein Cheke L'Tfunosei, you can't really understand what's going on in Hashem's understanding. In other words, Hashem, where He's made, as it were, rules which are called His understanding, even they are completely beyond us. There's absolutely no way that we can appreciate whatsoever. And it's alongside that pasuk that occurs another very famous pasuk in Yeshaya Novi, which also implies that the Chokhmah of the Torah is really hidden Chokhmah. It's not Chokhmah like we understand it at all. It's another level, a gather altogether in the union of Chokhmah. And therefore, it's impossible for a mensch to really understand he might think, for example, that he's done everything right and he's kept everything, it seems to be everything fine, but there's certain ways which Hashem relates to the creation, certain plans and certain things, and certain inyanim which Hashem foresees are going to be the ultimate destiny, or whatever you might call it, of the Adam, and we have no idea how that functions, on what rules, and on what basis that functions, we don't know. So therefore, here we see a very fascinating thing that we call it tvunosei, and tvuna means understanding or appreciation. So we're already saying that Hashem has got appreciation, which must mean that Hashem has already produced something, how to call it, in a way which is not him in his simplicity of his essence. It's already a set of rules, because otherwise it wouldn't be called tvunosei. Hashem in his very essence doesn't have tvuna, he's completely beyond that. So what the whole chiddush is, that even in what's called the rules according to which he functions, in other words, the Torah, how it's already been to a certain extent given out from Hashem's essence, even that is beyond, and it fits into all those terminologies that we said before. It's completely beyond our understanding, and it's completely linked with the Ein Sof, and we have no real way of ever appreciating it. So here we see that even where there's been a certain production on the part of Hashem towards creating a set of rules for the creation, the way those rules function are beyond us entirely. They fit into together absolutely in the most ultimate way beyond us altogether. That's why it says Acheker, Ein Cheker. So there's absolutely no research, and there's no way of knowing, according to human reasoning, the aims and the plans according to the laws and guidances that Hashem has made on high, to understand them at all. Uksiv, and it's written, the Alter Rebbe is not just satisfied with one posik, he brings all together the three of them. He brings down another posik, Uksiv, Hacheker, Elokah, Timto. If you will then try, you think, well, maybe I can't really understand, but if I really try, I will. Hacheker, Elokah, if you will research and inquire into Hashem, Elokah means the divinity, not just a name of Hashem, but Elokah is like a specific noun, or almost like an absolute noun for the divinity. Elokah, Timto, will you then find? In other words, that's a posik in Iyar already, and you know the famous story with Iyar, how he felt he was a very good person, he believed that he was a good person, then all of a sudden he was faced with years and years of terrible suffering and so on, and he had all sorts of problems with that, and he sort of argued against Hashem, and he had comforters who came in and tried to put things right, and there's some people that were called in English jokingly the Job's comforters, the people that they came trying to put him right. So one of the people that tries to put Iyar right said to him this sentence, Hacheker Elokatu, can you really think you can understand Hashem? In other words, you think you kept everything, you think you did everything rightly. There's all sorts of things in the Torah that are expected of us, but we don't even quite know about them yet, because they haven't come up in our lives clearly. And so there's sort of hidden things in the Torah which are expected of a person, and he doesn't quite notice. How to call it, like the Gemara says, you tread over certain things. Even Rashi brings it, Pasha Eikos. There's certain things we tread on with our heel. We don't really pay careful attention to them, and yet they're really deep and important matters in our lives, as is put in many places in Chazal and things like that. So even in that regard, says this comfort, says him, you can never know what's going on. Who knows what you did keep and you didn't keep and everything, even though you believe yourself to have been such a tough. It's pretty, sharp stuff over there, and Iyar doesn't take it all that particularly comfortably, and so on, and they argue together. That's the way the whole Sefer is built. But anyway, we see that he challenged Iyar by saying, could you possibly, in reference to the Torah and in reference to what we're supposed to be doing, once again, the set of rules, not just the very essence of Hashem, you can't really know what you've kept or what you haven't. Maybe there are certain things that you overlooked and you don't even remember, etc., etc. Why? Because you are a finite human, and we're talking about something, even the laws themselves are ungraspable and unhuman. And it's written, because my thoughts are not your thoughts. In other words, my thoughts are not comparable to your thoughts. So if we're saying Hashem's talking about his thoughts, then that means already something that he's produced for himself, not the simplicity of his essence at all. It's called his thoughts, Kaviyachol. Nonetheless, your thoughts and his thoughts are not at all in the same game or in the same ball, ball game. You can't compare your thoughts with his at all. And once again, it's clear that that's what the pasuk means, because if you look over there, that is one of the psukim from the portion that we read in the Beis Knesset on a Tainas Tzibah. On a public fast, we read that portion of Yeshaya Novi. And what the implication is over there, that Yeshaya Novi is calling people to do tshuva. It's not a bad idea. Occasionally to do a bit of tshuva is a good thing. So he's calling people to do tshuva, and he says, you might say, well, what's it going to help me to do tshuva? I've already done so much, and I've gone against your will, and you're the divine ruler. You say, what can I possibly help myself now? As it were, I'm outside the pale, or use the expression. And therefore, he says, Rashi says over there, the pshat, that normally even in a court al Torah, if a person admits that he's wrong, he still has to pay up. He still has to do it. On the contrary, if he admits that he's wrong, it becomes quite simple. And then he has to undergo whatever obligation the court can force upon him, even punishment, if he admits. So what Hashem is saying here is that if you guys will admit, somebody who does tshuva and admits to Hashem, he gets completely forgiven, and Hashem, as it were, overlooks everything. So he said, that is enough to say that my thoughts are not your thoughts. In other words, that I function in a completely different way, and all I want of you is just a few minutes of actually admitting to me that you haven't been right, then everything can be rectified, everything can start all over again. So on that one he says, that my makshavas are not human makshavas. So, from all of that we see that even in things which have derived from Hashem, not his very essence, the things that he's put down, nonetheless are completely beyond human grasp. They also fit into the general cloud, leis makshava tfisabe, that no possible thought can grasp them, or the other Indian that we use, ligdulose ein cheker, in his greatness. The same is with his chokmah and his rotzen, even how that has gone out from him. We notice that it's something completely beyond human grasp altogether. And now the Alter brings a Maimah Chazal to help us understand what is really happening. Because the teretz to the kasha is already beginning to form itself in the mind of the intelligent reader. Because if we say that these things are already Hashem's machshavah, or it's already his rules in the Torah, or it's already the Torah that he's given them, maybe you haven't been so perfect as what you think. These are all talking about sets of rules and sets of measurement that Hashem has produced already from himself. Maybe we could say that they are not Ein Sof like a Kodesh Baruch Hu is. He said, no, just like a Kodesh Baruch Hu is Ein Sof, so these things are also Ein Sof. So ask yourself the question, wait a minute, how does that work? How is that united with him? If he's Ein Sof and that's already a set of rules, it seems to be a finite, at least have some finiteness about it. How is it linked with the Kodesh Baruch Hu to the point that it's Kul Echad, or Yiraisa V'Kudsha B'Kul Kul Echad? So therefore it's falling in the mind that there must be some way that Hashem reduces himself and produces these, what appear to be already forms of law giving and running and conducting of all the world that he created, that Hashem produces these things for himself, and yet at the same time he preserves their unity with him in such a way that just like he's unthinkable and ungraspable, so are they. In other words, that we're now reaching the point that there must be some trick that a Kodesh Baruch Hu does, whereby he reduces himself to the point that he produces a set of rules and government of all the elements, albeit it's a lot of worlds, but all the elements, and so on. And yet at the same time, they remain just like his essence is. They remain united with that essence which is incomparable and incomprehensible to the highest point. So how does that work? And therefore we have to say that there's a secret hidden here, and that is where Kodesh Baruch Hu reduces himself, but he doesn't. He does, but he doesn't. So once again, we're meeting up here with the famous cloud. The Chassidus is just a whole bunch of how do you call them, paradoxes. Chassidus is an amazing collection of paradoxes. And that's why the Rambam writes in Hilchos Tshuva, the Rambam says that ultimately you don't understand Hashem. Therefore, you have to always just believe that the Rambam answers their famous kasha. And he answers the only way to accept that is with emunah. And the Ravid over there gets very angry. And the Ravid says, if you ask the kasha, you have to answer to it. You have to tell people to believe. If you ask the kasha, the Rambam's right according to this. Because ultimately, everything is like a form of emunah. We can only describe how these things are, or how they are be'emes, be'etzim, in the very mahus of those things. We can't live in it. So anyway, that's what's it's already beginning to form what you might call a framework of what the Alter is going to say. So he says, Hine, he said in reference to that, Al Zeh Omru, on that they said. Now they said is referring to the Chachomim. They said is already not a posik. That's already referring to the Chachomim. And it's a Gemara in Masechta Megillah. B'mokim sha'ato moitze gidulosei shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu shon ato moitze anvenususei. Now the word anvenususei from the word honor, and honor means a humble person, particularly a humble and cast down person. And the place where you find the greatness of Hashem, in that very place itself, there you find his kaviyohu, his humbleness. And his humbleness means his ability to make himself, as it were, small. In other words, that in the same place where his gudul is, there you find he's able to make himself incomparably small. Now, this is a very interesting case, that in the Gemara by us, it's written slightly differently. It's written, B'mokim shata moitze gvurosei, shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu ta moitze anvenususei. Well, I might have too much about it, can I? I was traveling in a big vehicle with a very experienced driver. All of a sudden he pulled a huge vehicle over to the side of the road. A very big, huge vehicle. A big semi-trailer about 3 miles long. I don't know how huge, a huge semi-trailer. And he parks over the side of the road. I said to him, excuse me, what are we doing here? He said, excuse me, I have to take care of something that only I can take care of. He said, I can't send you to look after it for me. He said, that's why I come over to the edge of the road. So that's my answer to him. If he's got to go, I can't do anything for him. He said, therefore, says this Maimon Chazal in the Gemara, in the place where you find the Gevura of a Kodesh Baruch Hu, there you find his humbleness. And here the Alter Rebbe used the expression greatness, not Gevura, a greatness. And so it's pointed out by a few of the great people that analyze the Tanya, that there's another girsa, there's another there's another text of this statement which occurs in another area of the Divrei Chazal, a thing called the Yalkut Shimoini. It's a collection of Agadas, of the Shas, and so on. Who's it? Who is it? Huh?
Somebody from Beit Somebody from Beit.
He wants you?
Yeah, it's okay.
Good. Okay. So this is another text of this Gemara which occurs in another area altogether. And the Alter Rebbe chooses to that one rather than the one written in Gemara in front of it. And it's also very interesting that the Gemara says over there in Masechta Megillah that this general rule, the B'mokim Shata Moitze Gedulose Shamata, in the very same place you find his absolute cast downness, the Gemara says that it's mentioned in Torah, Nevi'im, and Ksurim. It's Meshulash. It's they call it 3 times over, and it's brought down. The Gemara brings psukim for all, both from the Torah, from the Nevi'im, and from the Ksurim, to prove it. In other words, it's a very, how they call it, basic idea. And I could go into some length to describe what's written in the Gemara. It's very fascinating. But I have certain reasons why I can't do that right at the moment. But what it means to say is that according to this Gilsa, that wherever you find the greatness, and greatness meaning the full greatness, the unconditioned greatness of Hashem, well, that's where you find his absolute humility, his ability to be, as it were, in a small place, or a place which is not his error. It's not his ball game at all. And yet, nonetheless, where his greatness is, well, that's where he is in that way as well. So that's a paradox. In other words, that you find that Davka where you have his greatness, Davka there you've got this, as it were, tremendous humbleness to come down into the small place. In Mamish, in the same place, Bamakom Shata Moitze, where you will find the greatness, that's where you'll find it. Now, how does that make any sense? That doesn't. It's an absolute paradox. How can you say the very moment, and as it were, instant that you have the incomparable greatness, you have the absolute smallness of a Kodesh Baruch Hu, how can that possibly be? Therefore, we have to say that, like I said, that's a paradox, and the only way you can really relate to that is through faith, through Emunah. But behind the scenes is developing a new concept, and that is Tzimtzum. That Kodesh Baruch Hu made himself a Tzimtzum. How do you call it? A self-reduction. Now, it's a self-reduction. It's not an outside force that's influencing him, God forbid. It's a self-Tzimtzum. It's a self-reduction within himself, so that he preserves his greatness, and yet at the same time, he's no longer got it. The Galui in Revelation, for the receivers, for those who are receiving from him, he's no longer noticeable with that unbelievable greatness, but the truth is it's still there, even though he's undergone this unbelievable self-reduction, which is called Tzimtzum. So now we're now going to be faced with a tremendous challenge. How can we imagine that? How can we imagine a Tzimtzum whereby the Tzimtzum occurs, and yet at the same time it doesn't? It occurs but doesn't. And how does that, how can you say it occurs but doesn't occur? It occurs legabi the seers, legabi the noticers, legabi the makablim, the ones that are receiving from it. By them there's a Tzimtzum. Or by Kodesh Baruch Hu there's nothing. In other words, he has been Matzamtzum himself, and yet he hasn't. And that's the paradox. And that's the, as it were, the secret and the greatness of this Tzimtzum. So therefore, the Torah is a Tzimtzum, which on the one hand is a Tzimtzum, legabi the makablim, but it doesn't change it. It never alters anything, and it's the same unlimited and unfathomable Eibishter that's united with that very, very limited and finite thing called the Torah down here in this world. They're all one, and yet, go understand that, how can that possibly be? Or there's been a Tzimtzum. But the Tzimtzum was such that it doesn't really change anything. So, once again, we're facing here a very interesting situation that everybody wants to understand that a bit better, and wants to know a bit more about it. So what I'm going to say is, well, that's very nice, but you have to wait till you're going to have to wait till the next lesson, please. The reason being is that I'm not feeling so well there. That doesn't really matter. I'm not feeling so well today, and I want to give a class later in the evening. Bolton asked me to give a class about Rashbi and Pnimis HaTorah. So I'm going to give a class, Shiur Tanya. So I just can't, at this moment, I can't afford any more. No, I can't afford it, I just haven't got it. So therefore, we'll leave you guys with a kasha. But what we're building up is a case that the Torah is a tzimtzum and Eretz Knowledge. It's a tzimtzum and Eretz Knowledge. And it doesn't in any way impinge on the fact that it's all one, even though it's come down to us in a very finite way, to the point that it can enter our levushim and be understood and appreciated even by our little heads. If we only work hard, of course, by our little heads. By this man at the same time and at the same moment, in the same mokim where you find that's it, you find his unbelievable greatness. He is there, one with that, just like he was up there in the highest of all worlds. So that's what, in other words, to a certain extent, the Alter Rebbe is having his cake and eating it too. That's a very big trick. To have your cake and to eat it too. But still have it.